Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest.
I'm Peter Duong. I'll be playing Jack in The Importance of Being Earnest. Lady Bracknell?
Could you take a seat, Mr. Worthing?
Thank you, Lady Bracknell. I prefer standing.
I feel bound to tell you that your name is not down on my list of eligible young men.
Whoa.
Although I have the same list as the dear Duchess of Bolton. We work together, in fact. However, I'm quite ready to enter your name should your answers be what a really affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I do. I must admit I do smoke.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. A man needs an occupation of some kind.
Yes.
There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Ah, a very good age to be married at. I am of the opinion, Mr. Worthing, that a man who desires to be married should know either everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. The theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England at any rate, education fails to produce any effect whatsoever. If it did, it should prove a serious danger to the upper classes and probably lead to violence in Grosvenor Square. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or investments?
In investments, chiefly.
Ah, that is satisfactory. What between the duties expected from one during one's lifetime and the duties exacted from one after one's death, land has ceased to be either pleasure or profit. It gives one position and prevents one from keeping it up. That is all that can be said about
Well, I have a
land.
Well, I have a country home. I have a country home with some land, of course, attached to it. About 1,500 acres, I believe. But I don't depend on that as my real income. As far as I can see, the poachers are the only people there who make anything of it.
A country home. How many bedrooms?
Well,
Well, that can be cleared up afterwards. You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl like Gwendolyn with a simple, unspoiled nature could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
well, I have a home in Belgrove Square. It is let by the year to Lady Bloxham. Oh, of course I can get it back whenever I'd like. At 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham, I don't know her.
She goes about very little. She is a lady considerably advanced in years.
Nowadays, that is no guarantee of respectability of character.
Oh, yes, no.
What number in Belgrave Square?
149.
Ah, the unfashionable side. I knew that there must be something. However, that could easily be altered.
The fashion or the side?
Both, if necessary, I presume. What are your politics?
I'm afraid I have none. I'm a liberal unionist.
They count as Tories. They dine with us or come in the evening at any rate. On to more minor matters. Are your parents living?
I'm afraid I'd lost them.
Mr. Worthing, to lose one parent could be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both seems like carelessness.
Oh.
What of your father? He was evidently a man of some wealth. Was he born into what the radical papers term the purple of commerce, or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy?
I'm afraid I don't know, Lady Bracknell. As I have said, I'd lost both my parents. It would be nearer to the truth to say that they seem to have lost me. I don't know who I am at birth, actually. I was found.
Found?
The late Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman of a very kindly disposition, found me and gave me the name of Worthing, for he happened to have a one-way ticket for Worthing at the time in his pocket. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It is a seaside resort.
Where did this gentleman of a kindly and charitable disposition find you?
A handbag.
In a handbag?
Oh, dear. Lady Bracknell. Lady Bracknell. In a handbag, Lady Bracknell. It was found in a handbag. In a handbag. A somewhat large black leather handbag. With handles. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
In what locality did this Mr. James, Thomas Cardew come across this handbag?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was given to him for mistake of his own.
The cloakroom at Victoria Station?
Oh, yeah. Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is immaterial. I must confess, Mr. Worthing, I am somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, indeed, bred in a handbag.
Yes, a handbag.
Even one with handles, seems to me to display contempt for the common decencies of family life. It reminds one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. I presume you know what that unfortunate movement led to.
Yes.
As to the locality in which the handbag was found, a cloakroom at a railway station might serve to conceal the social indiscretion. Indeed, probably has before now, but it could hardly be considered an assured basis for a good position in respectable society.
May I ask then what you would advise me to do? I need hardly say or do anything to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
Mr. Worthing! I strongly advise you to find a set of relations as soon as possible, and to try and make a definite effort to produce at least one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
I don't know how I can possibly manage to do that. I can produce a handbag at any moment. It is in my dressing room at home. I'm sure that should satisfy Lady Bracknell.
Mr. Worthing! I fail to see what this has to do with me.
Oh dear.
You can hardly expect Lord Bracknell and I to allow our only daughter, who was raised with the utmost care and concern, to marry into a cloak room and form an alliance with a parcel. Good morning,
Lady
Mr.
Bracknell.